Who am I? An annoyingly obsolete question that wastes a lot of time. So we make it go away by saying the magic words, I am to be happy. And then we go on to achieve feats of awesomeness, sometimes individually, sometimes together. But every now and then it pops up. There exists a lot of ideas that tries to explain it, and in an effort to understand it, I may become the person that these concepts can explain, but then who was I before? Let's take George, a normal citizen. George was told that happiness comes when he has good family, friends, work, money, faith, and a good society. George gains all that and becomes happy. But he starts to feel incomplete, like he's losing out on something. So, in order to be more happy, he starts to increase what he has: more close ones, more money, more faith, less work, a bigger society, hoping for that ultimate happiness. And like George, we too remain in this endless pursuit. What we fail to realize is that the things we chase are just people. Family and friends are people. Work is a group of people. Money comes from people. Faith somehow has become about people, and society is just more people. In the end, we are just trying to gather as many people as possible, and what we get from them is a feeling. And these feelings are what makes us happy. All we can do is to trust that the bonds we make can give us these feelings. So, to be happy, all we need is trust. So, what this fails to explain? All the other emotions, fears, our mind, likes or dislikes, and how does this all matter? Let's start again, this time from the very beginning. The cosmos is all that is, or was, or ever will be. And cosmos is anything but random. Random is our perception of it. All life forms are a product of evolution. We have evolved from a single cell organism, and the cell would have never imagined that it would become these complex structures of what we now call an existence. Cells might not even have complex emotion, but if it can feel something, then that would be trust. Trust that there will always be food for it to eat, and trust that it can find the food. But it can't survive with just trust. It needs fear, to know what stimuli to stay away from. The capacity to process this and create responses is called the mind. And there are only two types of responses, one based on trust, other is no trust, which we call fear. Now let's come to the multicellular organism. Things get a bit tricky. All the cells have their own individual minds with their set of trust, fears, and responses. If all the cells are same, the responses pretty much remain the same. And if they are not, it makes the responses a bit complicated. So to keep things simple, the mind of the organism creates constants of stimuli that it can trust or fear. Fear constants are just an aggregate of all, whereas the trust constants are fixed by taking what's common, and the rest of it shifts to fear. And the evolution continues. Enter humans, whose mind, with the help of a response simulation system, had acquired a peculiar ability to quantify trust. This changed the fear responses, that is, no trust, to trust with caution, which is distrust. It's like how we use fire, electricity, weapons, or other life forms. It may be harmful to us, but it gets us what we need. Now we could make almost anything into a constant of trust or distrust. This is us. It changes according to where we live, beliefs, and personal interest. Our ability to quantify trust is called emotions. The state when the trust we get is equal to or greater than what we put in is happiness. So the sense of incompletion is pretty much caused by ourselves. We force our mind to have multiple characters. This complicates the responses, so the mind just simplifies it all. Distrust constant is an aggregate of all, whereas the trust constant is fixed by taking what's common, and the rest of it shifts to distrust. Distrust signifies fears, and if it is greater than trust, the mind will try to overturn the system back to trust. And to do that, the mind starts to define itself. The easy way is knowledge. It gives us different systems to define and trust ourselves. On basis of this I, we gain more trust constants, and now the feeling of completeness gets limited only by the knowledge itself or by our understanding of it. This is the dissonance and incompletion we create within ourselves. This part is what we are normally aware of. This part we just don't know what to make of it. And the whole of it is who we truly are at all times. This patterns is what governs our fears, our likes, dislikes, and sometimes hints at who we might become. So now, does this explain everything? Nope. All it did was raise better questions. Why trust? Why do we have it? Where does it come from? Is trust the right word? And again, how does this all matter? I do not know yet. But as of now, we just seem to be a part of cosmos that became aware of itself with two modes of operation, trust and distrust, trying to answer the question how to enable trust in everything. And our reward? Happiness.